Hello everybody, we're back here again with Moebius, and we just checked out our little office over there. And interestingly, we're popping some pills. I wonder what that's for. But they are a prescription. So, I don't know what that means. Or maybe it's just aspirin, maybe it's chronic headaches or something. Being a antique dealer. Too much dust, too much dust goes to your head and you just get chronic, tension headaches. But anyway, yeah, so sorry for the skip. I had a bit of video trouble. But anyway, what we might as well go do now is go and see about Mr. Amble. And Amble, we can search for Amble Dexter.
Nothing.
Amble.
That's extremely odd. It's an unusual name, but there's information on everyone on the internet, unless it was intentionally scrubbed.
Knows anything about Mr. Amble. And what else could I do? I just gained a contact. Can I call him?
I don't need to call him right now.
I don't need to call him right now. Okay. So I guess off we go on our little adventure here.
I'm going to go see Mr. Dexter.
Good. But tell him you can't travel anywhere for a few weeks.
I'll do nothing of the sort.
Good luck.
Malachi is kind of lanky, isn't he? He's kind of stretched out, like slender, slender man-ishly. So we got our passport equipped, and we'll follow directions since it's early in the game.
Here's my passport.
Welcome, Mr. Rector. You can go through to Mr. Dexter's office. Use the elevator, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was being the cop.
Mr. Rector, what a pleasure to finally meet you. I've heard about your remarkable talents.
Which I presume you'd like to rent in the near future.
Precisely. Please, come in and sit down. This is Mr. Reichart, my associate.
Mr. Rector?
Hello.
Before we discuss the job that we have in mind, I hope you won't object to a simple exercise.
Oh? I'm afraid I left my performing monkey hat at home.
Please don't take it like that. I think as a historian, you'll find it quite fascinating.
I'll think about it.
Being a little bit snarky there, but I would be equally suspicious.
That photograph certainly helps one keep an eye on the big picture. I wonder if that's why Dexter has it there.
Boop-a-doop-a-doo.
The flag bears the logo I saw in the lobby with the initials FITA. What does it stand for?
I don't know, but it looks like, might as well just talk to this guy. Ooh, what does the brain do? Malachi can analyze objects and people to learn more about them. Each icon highlights a point of interest. Click on one to see the data point and select from the list of possible deductions based on what Malachi sees. Ah, see? I was right, that potential supernatural ability coming in. Not really supernatural yet, but there's probably some kind of link to it. Okay, so Mr. Amble has a sharp gaze. I'm gonna say that he's highly intelligent. It's probably not on a stimulant, or he would be kind of fidgety. Steady hands, so he's not on drugs. Calm leader, extremely passive bored. It's probably calm leader. Runs agency from wheelchair. Highly determined sympathy seeker, is very ill. Well, he didn't seem very ill when we talked to him, and he seems kind of in control of himself pretty well, so I'm just gonna say he's highly determined. Okay. Dexter is a highly intelligent and determined man. He appears to be an effective leader. So that's our analysis. I wonder if it's right. Well, might as well talk. I'm game for the exercise.
What is this exercise you mentioned?
Take a look at this man. Tell me if he reminds you of any specific person in history.
I read objects, not people, and this exercise is illogical.
Humor me, please. I've heard you have a photographic memory, and that your knowledge of history is beyond compare. I'm intrigued.
I'll bite.
I prefer to work on my phone. I'll scan in the man's bio.
Oh, yes, of course. Gotta use your gadgets, dude. Malika keeps dossiers on his jobs on his phone since he has all the data points needed to compare analysis on this person. Please press the analyze button to continue. Giuseppe Montesero. Wasn't that the guy from the letter on the desk? I don't know. Giuseppe Montesero, a young Italian painter and architect, a promising talent. He died a few years ago when his career was only just beginning. See if the life of Giuseppe Montesero resembles that of any historical figure. Giuseppe was a talented Italian artist from a young age, visionary in the field of architecture. His research and work, environmentally friendly, hired by the Vatican to bring designs in a new building. Giuseppe was known to have many female lovers and was engaged for 5 years. I mean, Leonardo da Vinci comes to mind for the architecture. I don't know about the lovers or the Vatican, but Giuseppe helped manage his father's business in his early teens and surprisingly excelled at it. Though respected by his peers, he did not rise to any great fame or renown rather, in his lifetime, partly due to his early death at the age of 36. Giuseppe had many friends and clients in the church who supported his work. Alright, interesting. Scan through the list and remove candidates who don't match very many data points. Use the minus button to remove a candidate. Narrow the candidates down to 3 people who match the most data points. Okay. Let's see. Guarini, an Italian artist, achieved a solid reputation as an artist in his 20s. Okay. Many of his works were passed off as his masters when he was in training. Many of his masters were in fact his. Okay, all these guys were young artists. As an apprentice, he was paid as a master artist. Okay. Raphael was apprenticed at age of 8 because of the promise he showed. Alright, well those seem to match. Giuseppe became quite a visionary in the field of architecture. Green building design. Designed the piazza, the interior, and a number of secular buildings in Rome. Okay. Designed tombs, chapels, and libraries that are considered his turning points in architectural history. Okay. Worked in architecture heavily influenced the end of the Renaissance and the start of the Baroque period. Frank Lloyd Wright. He founded organic architecture, the style that emphasizes harmony with nature as well as... Frank Lloyd Wright seems like a bit of a red herring, but I'll bite for now. Giuseppe was hired by the Vatican to implement his green designs on a new building. Designed the piazza, blah blah blah, and churches. Okay. Hired as an architect to design the dome of St. Peter's Basilica after Raphael's death. Ceiling of the... Hired by to design the dome. Okay. And painted. Main architect of St. Peter's Basilica. Died before the construction was complete on his final project, a house in County Wicklow, Ireland. I mean, all these other guys are Italian, so I'm gonna narrow down Frank Lloyd Wright. Giuseppe was known to have many female lovers and was engaged for 5 years to a woman he didn't love. They were never married and the engagement ended when she died. Raphael, once engaged, but his fiancée died after a 6-year engagement. He made many paintings of at least one of his longtime lovers. That sounds pretty on par. He never married and a number of homosexual relationships with younger artists and models. Okay. Who's that? Michelangelo. So I guess we're ruling out Michelangelo. Botticelli never wed and expressed a strong aversion to the idea, but suffered from an unrequited love for a married noblewoman. That's interesting. I'm gonna hold on to that one for now. Giuseppe helped manage his father's business in his early teens and surprisingly excelled at it. At the age of 11, helped manage his father's workshop. Okay, that's the scene. Originally trained as a goldsmith by his brother, he was apprenticed by the age of 14 and attributed to numerous early works his master, but not his father. His father was also a sculptor. He began accompanying him on business trips and contributing to projects from as early as 8 years old. Okay, so I'm gonna rule out Botticelli. Though respected by his peers, Giuseppe did not rise to any great fame or renown in his lifetime, partly due to his early death. Death at 37. Raphael is looking pretty... Da Vinci lived to the age of 67 and was very famous in his lifetime. Alright, so we can rule out Leonardo da Vinci. Interesting. Okay, so now we have 3 to narrow down. Chief assault artist, so we have Donatello, Bernini, and Raphael. Design the blah blah blah. Okay, Donatello looks like he's out. But Raphael matches pretty much everything. So we're gonna go with Raphael. There we go.
Is this a joke?
Not at all. What do you see?
His biography reads like that of Raffaello Sanzio d'Urbino, the 15th century painter better known as Raphael.
You do not disappoint, Mr. Rector. Such a pleasure to finally meet you. Truly, I'm delighted.
Wonderful. Now perhaps we can discuss the job you have for me.
Well, apparently Malachi still wants to talk about the exercise, but... yeah, whatever.
I still don't see the point of that exercise. A modern man happens to have a similar life story to a famous painter. What of it?
Indeed. Its relevancy to us needn't concern you. All we ask for is your expertise in making the historical connection.
Okay.
Do you have a job for me, Mr. Dexter, or not?
I do. The job is in Venice. A young woman of wealth and high birth was murdered there a week ago. Her name was Bianca Cardolo. I'd like you to go to Venice and investigate who she was, and do what you just did so magnificently. See if she reminds you of any historical person. That is all.
I don't investigate deaths. Hire a detective.
We're not looking for her killer, only the facts of her life. A brief biography, if you will. And for you to document any connections you draw to any figure in history. Perhaps there will be none. That's acceptable as well. You get paid 20 to 30,000 for your work for the auction houses. I'll pay you 50. It should take you no more than a week. What say you, Mr. Rector?
Hey, I might be interested.
I might be interested. But first I want to know why you're keen on this particular woman, and what the point is behind these comparisons to people in history.
I'm afraid any further information is classified at a high security
I still
level.
have to figure out what this guy does. High security level. If I say I'm not interested, will he tell me more about what he does?
Sorry, I'm not interested. Whatever new age mumbo-jumbo you're into, I live on the planet Earth, where there are no reincarnations, avatars of the god Shiva, or any such nonsense. And I'm afraid I'm booked up working for Earthlings for the foreseeable future.
Tell me this. You saw our security procedures. What kind of entity would you say we are? And do you think an entity like that would be into
Spill the beans, dude. I
mumbo-jumbo?
gotta know more about you. Really? Well, I have to... I'll take the job, whatever.
I'll take the job.
Excellent. I know you won't disappoint me, Mr. Rector. Speak to the guard in the lobby. He'll give you your plane tickets. And Godspeed. I very much look forward to hearing your report when you return from Venice. I'll forward the relevant information about Bianca Cardolo to your phone.
Very well. Goodbye.
Done deal. Alrighty then.
Pass through the scanner, sir.
Well, I was just gonna hop over the... Okay. Can I talk to this guy?
Mr. Dexter said you have plane tickets for me?
Oh, it's good that I
Yes,
talked to
sir.
him, actually.
Have a good trip, sir.
Thank you. Looks like I've taken care of everything here. I should head to the airport for my trip to Venice.
Well, on that note, things just got pretty interesting, and so much for sticking close to home for the next few weeks. Poor Gretchen. But anyway, so this game is getting pretty interesting very quickly, and I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. But in our next episode, it looks like we'll be shipping off to Venice for a little while. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.